Okay, so we're over here at the mill. This is what I have for a mill. It's a Powermatic Millwright MVN. It's powered by a one-horse motor, which I'm not actually sure this motor is original. It's a little different green than the rest of the machine, but it is 115 volt single phase. So maybe somebody, might have been 220. I don't know if they made these in three phase, but it might have been 220 something before, and somebody swapped out the motor. But this is my mill. Got the quick, more like drill press style down feed. Plain Jane as far as no power feeds. I recently bought a power feed. I'm going to do a project here to add one to the X on the table. And this has the 8-inch by 36-inch table, and the knee is, so the knee is like a 22-inch knee or so. So it has a pretty good working envelope. Probably a little underpowered, doesn't have all the features of a Bridgeport, but it does fit in my shop, and it was pretty reasonably priced for this area. Idaho's kind of what I refer to as a machine tool desert. Very few and far in between machines, and then when you do find them, people think they're plated in gold. So I actually paid $1,800 for this, which I know is probably crazy for some other parts of the country. But if you go look at a Bridgeport, even an old beat up one, you're looking at least $4,500. And you can see our dog Bella has decided to join me in the shop. It's hard for me to even get out of the house without my escort. Usually she's outside, but she's decided to come inside. She's done playing in the snow. But anyway, so got the mill, got the vise, which I think might be an old Kurt vise. You can see where it used to have blue on it. It does have a tag, which is pretty beat up, and you can't read it for the most part. I can read the serial number. I can't read anything else. The handle, I don't know if it's even original, has a 60-23 casting number or whatever on the handle. And I don't know that there's actually any other numbers on the vise. There's some here, which I can't read. But anyway, so it came with the vise. It's pretty good shape. It's got just one little nick in the table. Even under the vise, the rest of it's pretty good. Does what I need to do so far, as I learn and progress. Everything that I know about machining, basically, I learned off of YouTube. Mr. Pete 222 or Tubal Cain, Adam Booth or A-Bomb 79, and Keith Fenner over at Millwright. That's who I primarily watch. I've also picked up recently Tom Lipton over at Ox Tools, Outside the Screwball. I just started watching some of his videos, and I'm kind of still plinking around on YouTube looking for different guys to watch and to follow. But they've kind of inspired me too to kind of share my own experiences. Some of those guys are professional machinists, or they taught machining for years. I'm a hobbyist, home guy. I do things as I need it. Machining is one of the things. I took welding, which included a lot of oxyacetylene, arc, and some MIG in high school back in the 80s. I also took small engines. Now I used to do desert racing. My son still does race, but so small engines has come in handy. I can rebuild engines, pistons, rings, replace all the bearings on the bottom end, all that kind of stuff. And then machining kind of plays into that as well. If you need to make parts, you don't have time to order something, you need to fix something in a hurry, you can weld it, machine it, get it back on the bike or whatever. But anyway, so let me get you in close. We're going to drill the holes in our bracket here, so we need to figure out how to get set up in the vise and get the holes put through there. Okay, so we're over here at the vise. Sorry about the glare, kind of dealing with afternoon glare here, but I have my parallel set. I'm going to use import sets of parallels, the only one parallels I have. So I think what I'm going to do, since this is angle and you've got to deal with the corner, the radius in the corner, and then what I'm going to do is just take my smallest, that's like 1/8 by half, 6 inches long. Go down in there and just kind of overhang the side over here. Looks like it. It's in there pretty well. Let's see if it's positioned here. I don't really have any kind of center finding tool for the mill. So for the moment, I'm just going to use this. This was in a box of junk, I guess you could say, or stuff I bought at an auction when you have to buy those lots. It's actually, it looks like a transfer punch. Says it's 1730 seconds. It's the only one I have because I got it in that box of stuff. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball that in there. Again, you know, the exact location of these holes isn't necessarily precision as long as it goes through the bushing material. When we weld the bracket back on the tractor, or on the backhoe attachment for the tractor, is when we'll have to be careful about lining up the holes so that they match, so that we can get a pin in there from one plate to the other. So there's my cabinet door here. It's in the way of my handle. The wonders of working in a small shop. It's kind of hard to see it enough to eyeball it. Looks like we're right. Yep. You know, center drill. Good. I use this water-soluble oil for cutting and grinding. I know a lot of guys use the heavy cutting fluid. I haven't bought any yet, but also I don't really care to smoke at my shop too much, and this stuff doesn't make too much of a smell. You do kind of have to be careful to wipe it up later. It leaves a sticky residue if you let it dry out. But let's spot that. Harbor Freight tools here. Now the material that goes through there is 5/8, so I have a 5/8 in this set. But first I'd like to work that up a little bit. So let's grab another size. And here's another one of my auction acquisitions. This is it's made in China, one of these 115 piece jobber link drill bit sets, but I didn't have one before, and I was always, every time I needed the right drill bit for a particular thread size or whatever, you know, I recommended drill sizes, go to the store and buy one, and then started working up my collection that way. But as an auction, imagine that one day, and this was there, and actually looked like it was pretty decent shape. You know, it's got decent grinds on the drills. So some of the ones I've looked at in stores and stuff, they're just horrible. It's like they gave a you know, a 5-year-old a bunch of drill bits and a drill or a grinder and just told me sharpen these up, and they look horrible. But this is actually in pretty good shape, so I went ahead and bought it. I just keep it, and I only use it for machining stuff. I have some other drill bits and stuff that I use for wood or whatever. So I think we'll work that up. That's a 5/16. Work that up. Hole size a little bit there. We're through the angle now. We're drilling into our boss that we welded to the back side. These millwrights, you have this brake up top, hand brake. I think mine probably needs to be taken apart. There's supposed to be leather in there that runs on the flywheel, I guess, to stop it, from what I understand. But mine sounds a little metal on metal. I guess project one of these days take it apart and put some more leather in there. So that looks pretty good. Drop the knee here a little bit. Camera mount is kind of in the way of the tripod. Down enough to clean it up. Still kind of in the way. So I use my power knee here. That would be this Milwaukee 1/2-inch drill, which I bought at an auction, and I'm running a 11/16 socket happens to fit the square drive down here for the leg, and I use this to down. Oops, bump the camera there. Go up to 7/16. Just a bit. I don't think I'd ever taken that one out of the pack. It's got a little surface rust down the grooves there. One thing about using this moose milk, it helps keep things nice and cool down. Grab a paper towel, wipe it off. Put that away. Done with that. Stepped off camera there for a second just to verify our pin size is indeed 5/8, which it is. So we'll go up to a 5/8 now. And this is one of those Harbor Freight Silver and Deming drill bit sets. Kind of a cheap way to get some of the larger sizes, and it does okay. It drills okay. My pin size is 5/8, so just kind of hoping that, you know, there's probably enough run out or bad tolerances here that we'll get enough clearance just by using this 5/8 drill bit. Spatter in my box here. Camera mounts, the tripod I'm using is kind of between me and the table. I normally set things with the pallets, with the backhoes on right behind me here. I don't really have a lot of flat surfaces to put stuff. Alright, so I think for the big bushing, we'll use a couple of different space it up. These are like 1.1 tall. Go just a little shorter, give myself a little lower in the vise there. Next, I hadn't actually unwrapped yet, so they still have the packing goo on. Preservative stuff. Strip that down there. Let's see, it wants to wants to ride up out of there. I think that's primarily because the front is rounded here. So that's come through. Alright. So let me try a little different setup here. I think I may get out some of my clamps and either clamp it on the table or situate it somehow where I can clamp that with it. Since this spacer boss or whatever is on this side, you know, I still have flat right up until I hit the big one in the back. So maybe I can just hang it off the edge of the table a little bit and get it clamped down, and then we'll drill that. So let me get set up to do that. Okay, so we're set up back over here on the mill. I took some of the clamps from my clamping set. We have that 1-inch boss spacer, whatever you want to call it, hanging off underneath our piece off the edge of the table here, and got it clamped down solid. I repositioned the camera, got you guys in a little closer. Have it on a mag base. It's kind of a little bit sketchy mount until I can come up with something a little better for this. I've tried to add a little bit of light because I'm getting a lot of glare from behind the camera here. So hopefully everything works out. If you see some shadows as I reach in, it's because of that glare from behind us. So I've got it centered up, and we're hitting right on our mark. So we're good to go as far as that goes. And we just need to center it a little bit. See, we're hitting the mark there, so we're coolant. Looks to me like the camera is vibrating a little bit. We'll have to see how this video turns out here. Oh. Five-sixteenths. Let's see if we have to lower the knee some more. Yep. Put the towel down here to soak up some of the moose milk there. So when I was off camera setting this up, I did check with the other hole, and the I think that pin might have been a little damaged on the end from me driving it out, but the brand new material for the pins fits through the hole. It is a fairly tight fit, a snug fit, but that will only help us really line things up when we get ready to weld that plate back on the backhoe, or weld this plate on. So pretty much ready to go. I still need to clean this edge up a little bit with a flat bisque and an angle grinder, and I think we've already saved the other plate. We managed to give it a little percussive influencing, and it went back pretty straight. So the next thing really will be to we'll be welding this plate in on the backhoe, and then trying to paint everything. I may take it and run it through the sandblaster again real quick, clean up all the welds after I dress this up, just so it's nice and pretty for paint and welding. See you on the other side. Okay, so I'm back for a quick second. I realized I had forgot to show you where we came out on the back side. So we came out a lot more centered on that one than on this one. I'm not sure you know, where I measured wrong or whatever. Again, this is just really a spacer, not so much you know, anything else. But just to double check, this is new material here. And if you line those holes up, well, this other pin, this is one of the old pins that came out. I had to dress up the end a little bit. This is all tweaked, but if you go through there, and I don't know if you can see it on video, but you can tell our holes are lined up. I mean, it wants to start. So it's just the position of this material. I didn't mismeasure or anything, which is a good thing. So catch you on the next segment of this video.